Welcome to the Handyman Pros Radio Show. Home improvement and maintenance tips from the pros.
Welcome to the Handyman Pros Radio Show Action Edition, where we feature feedback from you, our listeners. I'm here with my old buddy Larry. Larry, what's been going on?
Well, John, it's been a pretty good week. Actually, I've been doing a lot of jobs. I'm doing my usual jobs, my usual job being welcome to the to-do list.
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't know about you, but I mean, I know I do a ton of to-do lists where we come into somebody's house and we hang a fan, we do this, we do that. And it's kind of funny because this week, actually, our questions from the email bag at Handyman Pros, questions at handymanprosradioshow.com, is actually a question from Mary. And Mary has a towel rack that has come loose. And I actually had to fix two of these in one of the houses that I went into. So she wants to know, is there a way to fix this? Or, is there a way to fix this issue? And so we're going to give the answer, which is yes, of course there is, and then we're going to give a tip so that it doesn't continue to happen, right? So I was thinking that the first thing is that yes, in general there's a way to fix it. Usually up underneath the arms, or depending on how your towel rack is hung, or your toilet paper rack or whatever, there's a little set screw up underneath most of them, and they are tightened up with a very small Allen wrench. Just depends on the particulars as to what size, but they're usually tightened with a small Allen wrench, sometimes with a small flathead screwdriver. And all you do is tighten them up, and that will actually, they push a little screw up that usually has a little point on it, and it pushes up, and it actually tightens it up, and it makes it really, really tight. Problem is, John, as you know, is what happens in a house.
Yeah, there's a lot of vibration, especially in the bathroom gets a lot of use because you're got towels that are heavy towels that are coming off these racks, and a lot of movement there.
A lot more movement than you think, and you tend to walk a lot in there too, which causes a small amount of vibration in the walls and stuff. Believe it or not, your house moves a little bit, and so these little set screws tend to loosen up, right? I mean, John, how many times have you seen it?
All the time, and this tip that we're going to give here also goes for door handles. all the things that kind of get to us handymen, right? That it's like everything's kind of loose and wobbly and wiggly. So
so what our tip is to go down to the local hardware store or your hobby shop or wherever it is that you happen to purchase, generally glue, right? And purchase a product that is called a Threadlocker. Now, John, do we put red Threadlocker on it?
Yeah, let's be clear. So there's different types of Threadlocker. You can buy these at big box stores and things like that, and they come in different colors because it's in different strengths of the Threadlocker. There's blue, red, and green.
Yeah,
you don't want to use
different levels of how long you want it to stay closed, right?
It's Anyways, without going into stud lockers and all kinds of stuff, but so this get the blue stuff,
because the blue stuff is what?
So it just kind of clogs up the threads, and it's removable.
It's removable.
Yeah, I mean they're all removable, but to what point? And I laugh because if you put don't put the red stuff on there, you'll never get it.
You'll never get it off. Yeah, you can
replace the door if you do the handle.
Yeah, right, exactly. So we want you to make sure that whichever one you buy, generally we think they're blue. I agree, they're usually blue. Yeah. You want to buy the removable version of it, and they're well noted on the packages of all the different brands that there are. And there's things like Mercury, and there's things like Loctite, and there's all these different brands. But they all will tell you if they're removable, and you want the removable one. You want probably the one that is the most removable, because it still will work. It works really, really well. So that's how you fix that up. So the first thing to do is, if you have a loose doorknob, or in this case a towel rack or a toilet paper rack, is there's a little set screw up underneath, and it's usually with an Allen wrench. Sometimes it's with a flathead screwdriver. But you just put one drop of this blue Threadlocker on there, tighten that thing up, and you won't worry about it again.
Yeah, that's true.
Until you want to take it off.
That's right.
All right. So, well, that's the questions from the question of the week, and that comes from questions@handymanprosradioshow.com. So if you have a question to send us, please, we would love to answer your question. Again, it's questions@handymanprosradioshow.com. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've enjoyed this podcast and have derived some value from it, here's 4 things you can do. 1, tell your friends about this podcast. 2, hit subscribe on your podcast player. While you're there, leave us a review. 3, subscribe to our newsletter by going to handymanprosradioshow.com and click on the subscribe button. We'll inform you of upcoming events, shows, and give you actionable tips for maintaining your home and property. And 4, send us an email with your questions to questions@handymanprosradioshow.com. That's handymanprosradioshow.com. That's our show for this week. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week on the Handyman Pros Radio Show.